Act 2 of Alexander the Great by Jean Racine. Translated by Robert Bruce Boswell. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 2, Scene 1. Cleophila, Hephaestion.
Yes, while your kings together hold debate until the council meets, lady, let me tell you what secret reasons bring me here. I, as the friend to whom my lord confides the flame which your eyes kindled, would to them reveal it, and entreat you to extend to him the peace which he would grant your kings. After so many sighs, what may he hope? Your brother gives consent, yet you delay. Why let your lover, doubtful and perplexed, his heart ne'er offer but with constant dread of your refusal? Must he at your feet lay all the world that's left? Give peace, make war. Which shall it be? Command. His feet will run, by conquest or by merit to prevail.
May I believe a prince of fame so high still keeps the memory of my feeble charms? That he who makes terror and victory his followers should condescend to sigh for me? Such captives break their chain full soon, to grandest projects glory leads them on, and love within their breasts, hindered and crushed, is neath a weight of laurels soon overwhelmed. So long as I his prisoner remained, I might have made some slight impression there. But, sir, I fancy when he loosed my bonds, the hero in his turn soon burst his own.
Ah, had you seen him chafing at delays, counting the days that kept you from his sight, love, you would own, was urging on his steps. He rushed to battle but in search of you. 'Tis you who lead the conqueror of kings, thus through your provinces to march in haste, and rend upon his way, neath his strong arm, all obstacles that hinder his approach. Now on the self-same plain our banners wave with yours. He views your ramparts from his own, and after all his exploits, fear subdues the victor's heart, lest it should still be far from yours. His rapid strides from land to land have served him not, if you against him bar that heart and daily doubt his constancy to excuse the harshness that makes no responses to faithful vows, with weapons of distrust your mind.
Alas, how weak the best defence against such doubts! Our hearts we vainly vex with reasons to suspect what most they wish. Would your lord read the secret of my soul? 'Tis with delight I hear how much he loves. I feared that time had made his passion ebb. I fain would have his heart, and that for aye. I will say more. When he our frontier forced, and within Omphis took me prisoner, when I beheld him master of the world, to be his captive seemed a privilege, and far from murmuring against my fate, its sweetness grew with custom, I will own, till freedom was a memory erased, recovery of which I claimed, yet feared. Think how I must rejoice at his return. But would he have me see him blood besprent? Comes he to show himself an enemy? Is't not for torture that he seeks me out?
No, madam. Vanquished by your potent charms, he veils the terrors of his flashing sword. He offers peace to kings whose eyes are blind. The hand that could have crushed them he withdraws. He fears lest victory, too easy prize, might point his weapons to your brother's breast. His courage shrinks from causing you a pang, nor covets laurels sprinkled with your tears. Prosper the anxious care his love inspires, save him from winning sorrowful success, and influence monarchs whom his mercy spares to accept a boon they owe to you alone.
Ah, doubted not my agitated soul. With just alarm is ceaselessly distressed. I tremble for my brother, lest his blood should stain the hand of enemy so dear. But vainly I oppose his fiery zeal. Porus and Axiana rule his soul. A king's example and a queen's bright eyes rise up against me when I try to speak. When harassed thus, what have I not to dread? I fear for him, for Alexander too. I know he has destroyed 100 kings who dared defy him. Well, his feats I know, but I know Porus. under whose command our people have repulsed and triumphed o'er Scythian and Mede, and, proud of former bays, will follow him to victory or death. I fear—
Nay, harbour not a fear so vain. Let Porus rush whither disaster leads. Let India in his cause arm all her states, and let your brother only hold aloof. But here they come.
Accomplish your good work. Your wisdom may disperse these angry clouds, or, if the storm must burst, be this your care, to make it fall on other heads than ours.
Scene 2. Porus, Taxiles, Hephaestion.
Ere the fierce conflict that looms threateningly adds to our many conquests all your states, my lord is willing to suspend his stroke, and for the last time offers terms of peace. Your people, prepossessed with flattering hopes, the victor of Euphrates thought to stay. In spite of all your squadrons scattered wide, Hydaspes sees at length our standards float along his banks, which o'er your trenches soon would stand. While native blood your fields bedewed, did not our hero, crowned with other bays, himself the ardor of his warriors check? He comes not hither stained with princely gore, by barbarous triumph to affright these realms, and from your ruin reaping bright renown, o'er your king's tombs victorious trophies raise. But be not ye yourselves deceived by hope, illusive, nor provoke your own defeat, ere his resistless hand descends in wrath. Delay no longer, you have done enough already in withholding homage due. Such as your hearts must own his valor claims, welcome the firm support his arm affords, and honor the protector of your states. Such is the message he is pleased to send, ready to drop the sword or take it up. You know his purpose. Make your choice this day, to lose your crowns, or hold them as from him.
Sir, think not that a rude and sullen pride forbids us such rare virtue to respect, and that our people, with presumptuous zeal, will be your enemies in spite of you. We render to true greatness all that's meet. Ye worship gods that owe us to their fanes. Heroes who'd passed with you for mortal men have met with votive altars among us. But vain would be the attempt to make our tribes change their free worship into slavery. Trust me, the glory moves them to adore, no incense will they offer unconstraint. How many other states subdued by you have seen their sovereigns bend beneath the yoke? After all these, is it not time enough that Alexander should look out for friends? These captives, trembling at their master's name, but ill support a power so newly born. They have their eyes open to every chance of freedom. Your dominions all are full of hidden foes. They weep their kings discrowned in secret, and your chains, too widely stretched, grow slack. The Scythians, mutinous at heart, already soon will burst the bonds to which you destine us. Try, taking for a pledge our friendship, whether faith no oath constraints can bind us. Leave a people free who know how freely to applaud your famous deeds. I take your master's friendship on these terms, and I await him as a monarch may, a hero on whose steps glory attends, who wins my heart but cannot touch my throne.
I thought, when gathering his provinces, Hydaspes saw us flocking to protect his banks from outrage. That for task so great there came no kings with me, but such as were the foes of tyrants. But since one is found to lick the hand that threatens, and to court his own disgrace, in league with Macedon, it rests with me to speak for those whose trust has been betrayed by him, and in the name of India make reply. Why comes he here, the king who sends you? Do we need the aid he offers? With what countenance can he presume to shelter those who have no foe save him alone? Ere he laid waste the world in fury, India rested in repose. Or if some neighbour state ruffled her calm, she had no lack of children to defend her honour well. What means this fierce attack? What barbarous deed has roused your master's wrath? Did e'er a force of ours his realms invade, and ravage ruthlessly those lands unknown? So many countries, deserts, rivers lie between him and ourselves, as well might bar all access. Even on earth's remotest verge can none escape the knowledge of his name and galling chains. Strange valour must be his, that only seeks to injure, and consumes all that its fires approach, owning no rule but proud disdain. He fain would make the world one prison, all, as many as we are of humankind, slaves whom his foot may crush. More lands, more kings! His sacrilegious hands range all men under the same iron yoke. Already he devours us in his greed. Of sovereigns once so many, we alone are left to reign. What say I? We alone. Nay, only I, in whom there yet remain the traces of a king. But at that thought my courage rises, and well pleased I see this wide world shake, that by my arm alone its freedom may be stablished, if at all. And that, with peace restored, all men may say, Great Alexander would have tamed the world, had he not met on earth's extremest bounds a king who broke her chains and set her free.
Your resolution shows at least a heart valiant, but 'tis too late to oppose the storm. With no support but yours, this tottering globe, as well as you yourself, must pity claim. I will not try to hold you back. March on against my master, only I could wish you knew him better, and that fame had told you at least the half of his achievements. You would see.
What should I see? What could I learn to make me fall at Alexander's feet? Persia without an effort brought beneath his yoke? Your arms weary with shedding blood? What glory was it to subdue a king nerveless, already by soft ease enthralled, to quell a nation sapless and inert, whose golden harness made them sweat and groan, who made no stand, but prostrate fell in crowds, till corpses only blocked your master's way? Dazed with his least exploits, all other tribes came humbly on their knees to beg for terms, and, giving heed to oracles of fear, thought it were impious to resist a god. But we, who conquerors scan with other eyes, know well that tyrants are no deities, so that, however slaves may flatter him, we deem the son of Jupiter a man. We go not forth to strew his path with flowers, and everywhere he finds us arms in hand. He sees his conquest stopped each step he takes. Here does a single rock cost him more lives, more trouble, more assaults, almost more time than all the strength of Persia's serried hosts. The ease that was her ruin is to us hateful. Our native gold did ne'er corrupt our courage. Only glory tempts our hearts, the sole possession I dispute with him. 'Tis that alone
which Alexander seeks. To lower gains his soul is loath to stoop. No other aim led him to leave his realms, and to the throne of Cyrus brought his steps. Shook the firm pillars of that mighty state, armed his attack, laid victory and crowns at his disposal. Since your pride rejects the proffered pardon, glory does not grudge. Your eyes, the witnesses of his success, shall this day forth see how he fights for fame, and sword in hand marches to victory.
Go then, and I will meet him ere he come.
Scene 3. Porus Taxiles.
What? So impatient? Will you then?
Not so. With your alliance will I meddle not. Hephaestion, bitter only against me, of your submission will inform his king. The troops of Axiana, bound to me, await the conflict, ranged beneath my flag. The honour of her throne will I support, as of my own, and you shall judge the fray. Let not your heart, however, in its zeal for your new friends, kindle fresh flames of strife.
Scene 4. Axiana, Porus, Taxiles. Axiana to Taxiles.
Ah, what is this they say of you? Our foes make it their boast that Taxiles submits, at least at heart, nor marches gainst a king whom he respects.
The word of enemies is hardly to be trusted. Time will teach a better knowledge.
Sir, then give the lie to this insulting rumour, and confound those who have uttered it. Like Porus, go, force them to silence, Let them feel your wrath, and learn they have no deadlier foe than you.
Madam, I go my army to array. Heed less these rumors that alarm you so. Porus performs his duty, so will I.
Scene 5. Axiana, Porus.
That cold and sullen brow gives me no clue. His craven bearing looks not that of king marching to victory whom I can trust. We may not longer doubt we are betrayed. He to his sister sacrifices name and country. In his hatred he desires our downfall, and but waits the battle hour to show it.
Losing him, I lose a prop unstable. I have known him far too well to count on his support. These eyes have seen his doubts, unmoved, dreading his feeble arm much more if raised for us. A traitor fled to please his sister weakens us much less than cowardly resistance.
Be not rash. Your valour reckons not the invading hosts. Almost alone, hastening to meet his strokes, you but oppose yourself to countless foes.
What? Would you have me prove a traitor too, and, out of terror, give you up for slaves? That I should stay within my camp confined, and, after giving challenge, shirk the fight? Nay, madam, I believe it not, but know too well that soul where glory's fire burns high. Can I forget whose were the potent charms that roused our princes all, and drew them on to battle? Whose high spirit scorned to yield, and none but Alexander's conqueror would love? That task be mine, whereto I haste, less to avoid his chains than merit yours. Madam, I go, ambitious to deserve bondage so sweet, to conquer or to die. And since my sighs appeal without avail to one whose heart glory alone can sway, I will go forth to win a victory that shall attach such honour to my name that may from love of valour lead your heart, perchance, to love the victor.
Go, my lord. It may be in the camp of Taxiles there will be found men braver than himself. To rouse them I will make a last essay, thereafter share your fortune in your camp. Seek not to know the secrets of my heart. Live and enjoy a triumph.
This delay is needless, madam. Why not tell me now if my entreaties move you? Can your heart suffer a hapless prince, whose cruel fate perhaps condemns him ne'er to see again the idol of his soul, to die without the proud assurance of a destiny so great?
What can I say?
Queen of my soul, if any tenderness you felt for me, that heart which gives me promise of renown to be this day achieved, might promise more, a little love. Can it defend itself against such sighs? Can it?
March forth to meet the invader. Victory is yours if he resist no better than this heart of mine.
End of Act 2.